how much can I be myself at work and not get fired?
Right, right.
And then Durex completely eradicates like all norms. It's like you meet your teammate and then you're just like, okay, cool. So we need that vulva asset at 4 p.m. It's like, wait, what? What are we doing here? Like,
that is interesting.
Or like having someone do an @ here in Slack being like, guys, where are the dildos? Like, these are my colleagues.
Please clap.
This is Katie Holler. She's a comedian. She works at VaynerMedia.
Yes.
She's very funny. What do you do here at VaynerMedia? Because I don't know. I mean, I know, but I don't.
Okay, so I started like almost 4 years ago, actually. 4 years ago as a copywriter. And I was on Planters. That's actually how I met Seth the first time, because there was one day we were shooting for Planters and they were like, oh no, the actress that we booked is not available and the peanut suit only fits someone who's 5'6" or shorter. So we need you to go and be Mr. Peanut. Do you mind? And I was like, do I mind? I was like, this is the best day of my life.
Do you have footage of this?
Oh, I do, yeah.
Okay, cool.
And
we'll
then
need that.
we didn't have anyone to shoot it. And then Seth was like, sure, I'll show up at like 7 a.m. at LIC. Yeah.
Oh, so what did you have to do in this peanut outfit?
Dance a lot as the Nutcracker, the Nutcracker.
Okay. Well, we did Super Bowl commercials for Planters. Were you in a Super Bowl commercial?
So I moved off the brand and then they brought me back on the week of the Super Bowl. And they were like, just a quick recap, he's going to die and then he's going to be reborn as a baby and you're going to do Baby Nut Social. And I was like, wait, what?
No way. So you were Baby Nut.
I was Baby Nut.
Damn. Technically you are Baby Nut. Like
yeah.
That's like you're the inception. So how'd you feel about them killing him off and doing that? Did you enjoy that? Like, was that a fun project for you to be Baby
Nut? Until Kobe Bryant died the week that they were supposed to air the funeral.
What do you
commercial.
mean? Oh, I see.
So that was a challenge.
Did they still air it or no?
They changed this the timing of when it aired so that it didn't come after like a moment of silence because
I see, right.
Yeah, it was
that would be like it was going to be like it was planned for it to be. That would have been crazy.
I have like a fun little history at Vayner of like a really big campaign about everything I'm involved in. Like a horrible traumatic event happens the day before launch.
And then you have to go make a TikTok.
Yeah.
It's like, go dance and put on a smile. Yeah. I get it.
But anyway, so now so then I was a senior creator and now I'm one of the CCAs, which is basically like hybrid role of strategy, creator and community manager.
Oh, so you were a part of that strat. We did stand up for The Office one day, which was unsettling. Yeah, but it was the strategy team.
Yeah,
it was a lot of people.
Yeah,
I don't know what it
was so bright.
yeah, very bright, big room. But the worst part of it was there was people projected behind us on Google Hangout. And so you would forget, they're just like projected on your forehead, like not laughing.
Yeah.
Like on my forehead, rather, not laughing. And like, I'm like telling jokes. And then the one girl was pinned for a while.
Yeah.
I think it was Kate even. And so, I don't know. That was, how did you feel about that? Did you,
I think we did well. I think it was definitely a weird environment to do stand up. So.
That is true. Did you have to like go and talk to these teammates after, and like did it feel weird going back to the office?
A little bit, but so I was put on the Durex account in I think like end of April or May, because I've always like as a comedian I think that's sort of like there's always this like how much can I be myself at work and not get fired?
Right, right.
And then Durex completely eradicates like all norms. It's like you meet your teammate and then you're just like, okay, cool. So we need that vulva asset at 4 p.m. It's like, wait, what? What are we doing here? Like
that is interesting.
Or like having someone do an @ here in Slack being like, guys, where are the dildos? Like, these are my colleagues.
Wait, so is the Durex you got put on it after the stand-up?
Before.
Oh, before.
So I was like comfortable with dick talk with my coworkers by that point.
I see. That's interesting. There's no layer of like, I guess, I don't know what there would be, but like on film sets, it's like you have like the intimacy coordinator.
Right, yeah.
But here it's just like, just handing off dildos and talking vibrators. That's cool.
Pretty much.
That's sick. Well, so now you're on Durex and you said you're making a music video for them, or what's the deal with that?
So this was really exciting because it was Danny Chamberlain, who I work with a lot, and Craig Lashley, who's an amazingly talented rapper. The three of us just really vibe. We've never been on the same team. We just kind of, it's like, those people that you just like click and there's really good creative chemistry. So we had like written a song for like Rob. We did like the holiday song. We made a rap together and we were like, all right, let's like do more stuff like this. So Craig,
was the holiday song the one you were talking? Yeah, he was telling us that you had a great song.
So there was an assignment for, they do these like curiosity sessions for a creative department, and it was basically like make any TikTok you want based on any comment that you see. So Craig went through the Durex comments, and people are always like, because people are scrolling, they're not expecting to see anything from Durex. They're like not thinking about sex. All of a sudden, there's like Durex in the feed, and people are like, why are you on my FYP? That was like the most common comment. So Craig did like a 15-second song that was like, it's for your penis. And it was like very clever, and it went super well. It was a reaction video to something else that had gone viral, but it basically blew up, and people were like, we need the full song. Where's the music video? Like, so we were like, I guess this should be a thing.
How long ago was this song?
So this happened in May, I think.
Yeah, I thought, because I saw Durex was crushing it. You're doing a good job over there.
Thank you. Yeah, the team is super, super talented.
Yeah. I guess it's like, it makes it, because like when I have friends that do like Chef Boyardee and stuff, I feel like it's harder to be passionate about noodles. Yeah. But like to be passionate about condoms, and it's easier to make that funny.
Totally.
And it's like you would expect a level of professionalism, I guess, from like that brand, but for them to just be like, nah, like we're making a rap song about your penis, like that's cool.
Yeah.
So did you rap on it at all? No.
Yes. So,
you did?
Yeah. So Danny, Craig, and I basically turned it into like a 3-verse song. Craig is the first one, and his whole verse is sort of about like, he's like just on Grindr trying to like match with someone, and like he ends up on a date. And then my verse is more about like female pleasure for like the responsible hoes. We're starting a movement here, responsible hoe movement.
Okay.
And then Danny's verse is kind of like for the straight dudes that just coast in bed. And it's sort of like you got to like learn a little bit and put the work in.
Don't phone it in.
Yeah, don't phone it in. And like care about your partner's pleasure as much as your own. So that's sort of like the takeaway. So it's a nice little story.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Damn. I can't. When's it coming out?
Today.
We'll have it.
We accidentally have our release at the same time as Taylor Swift's Midnight.
Oh, well, that's cool. I mean, I don't think that's
We're pulling
really
a Kanye. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah,
we're going to be like, don't watch this yet. Listen to Taylor, then us.
That's cool. I mean, I feel like your audience is different. Like,
yeah, very different.
So it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
How was it rapping? Is it, because I've tried a few times, and it's hard. I know that.
So I'm very good at rapping. I'm horrible at freestyling.
Yeah. Well, that's like forgivable. I mean, I guess it's forgivable to not be good at rap in general, but like freestyling, I mean, you don't have to be good at that. Like,
yeah.
And so, what did you write the lyrics, or you?
Yeah, we all kind of helped each other like write it together, and then they sent us to MIA in September, and we performed it there, which was really fun.
How long have you been doing stand-up?
So I started in college like 10 to 12 years ago, depending on who cares. I started in college, and then I sort of had an improv phase when I moved to New York, and which I regret. No, I don't actually. It was fun.
I feel like it strengthens the muscle.
It does.
The comedic whatever.
Yeah. So I would say I started it in college, but I've been like focusing on it for like the last 6 or 7 years, like really feeling like, okay, want to just focus on this, not do other stuff.
That's cool. How often are you doing shows?
The last 2 months, not that often, like once a week or so, but
nice. That's
usually
still pretty good though.
Yeah.
Because I'm still struggling to get shows. I get it like a couple times a month maybe, but
yeah.
Are you doing mics too?
Not right now.
No.
But
it's cool. I mean, it's like it's tough coming from like here, and it's like we end at 6, and then it's like, I don't know. Where do you live?
I'm on the Upper East Side.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like Like on the pod. Sometimes I forget I'm on the pod. I'm like, oh yeah, what like address? Although that would be weird to ask in person too. So that's cool. I also wanted to throw this out there.
Oh yeah.
This mole. This is the first pod recording where this is not a mole. This is a scar now.
Wow.
Yeah, got a mole removed, and also get this. My mom is.
Can that be the title of the podcast?
Sean has mole removed. Get this. My mom is a nurse, right? So the doctor was like, "Oh, you can have your mom take out the stitches." And I didn't want to go back to Jersey, so she FaceTimed me, propped her up, and I removed my own
Oh
stitches.
my God.
Yeah, but then midway through, I'm like, I think it's one big string, because normally it's a few different strings.
Wow.
And she's like, I've never seen that before. That's weird. And I'm like, you can't be figuring out how to do this
Oh my
through
gosh.
the phone. Like, I thought she would have known. I don't know. She's like, I've never seen that in all my years. So,
Wow.
But anyway, shout out the mole. It's gone. Do you know Daniela Mora? She's a comedian.
Yes. Yeah.
She looked at it one day and she was like, that looks like a nipple. And I had a doctor's appointment scheduled already the next day. So I was like, well, can we take a look at this, and see. So that is it's an honor to have you on.
I'm honored. I'm honored
to be a part of the
post mole era.
Yeah, the post mole era. Exactly. He cut it off too. It was like. It was just weird. I couldn't feel anything, but then he showed it to me after, and he dangled my skin. It felt like, and I was watching the Dahmer documentary at the time, and so
man.
I'm already used to seeing pieces of body, and it was unsettling.
I watched that in a day.
Oh yeah, me too.
And then I binged the documentary right after. That
shit hurts my anxiety pretty bad. I got to stop binging all of that sort of stuff because it kind of fucks with me a little bit. But good show. Good show. Do you watch Mr. Ballin?
No, what's that?
He's this YouTuber. I'm obsessed with him. He just tells a story to his phone camera. But it's always true crime, and it's a 10-minute video. But he's got hundreds, and it's just always about death and real life shit that has happened. Check him out.
Yeah. That's a more manageable time, 10 minutes of true crime versus 10 hours.
Yeah, well, then I'm at work binging it, and it's because you're like, oh, it's short. I'll just watch one more, and it's easier to. It's like TikTok,
Exactly. Yeah.
Let me ask you this: you make TikToks for work. Do you find it do you go to TikTok and you're like to post something or something like that, and then you're just now watching TikTok and
oh, all the time, all
it's
the
hard
time.
to be productive and when your job is based in social media.
Yeah, and then I end up. I definitely feel like I've been neglecting my own.
Yeah.
The more I'm on it, it's I just need to. I need to.
I get FOMO when I watch
Yeah.
TikTok. I'm like, oh, I should be doing this.
Yes. Oh my God. It's so triggering too because you're I'm just trying to relax right now, and now I'm thinking of I could be doing this and it's I'm so good at identifying for other people. This should be your thing, or this should be what you hone in on, and then I can't do it for myself, and I just try a million things.
Oh, that's me, and yeah, exactly that. Yeah.
But you've done well on TikTok.
Yeah, but I mean, even still, it's I still don't know what to, like you said, hone in on. I'm just kind of and most days I'm like, maybe I can make a funny song today.
Yeah.
And then I can't. And then I'm like, so I go back to making some random TikTok. It's day by day. I'm just or day to day I live. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Why? What would you tell me to hone in on?
I think for me, I was why am I not posting any of my stand-up sets?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Telling more of longer stories, but I love the one where you the whole Tinder thing. Was it Tinder? Yeah, that shit that is really funny.
Yeah, I know that. It's but then I found myself writing for TikTok.
Right.
Which is
exactly.
Weird. I don't know. I'm just TikTok is not that fulfilling. Also, it's all right, you go viral. That initial spike of going viral for the first day is I'm watching the video over and over again. I'm reading the comments. I'm laughing. I'm crying, laughing.
Yeah.
Yes. And then the next day, same video. I'm what next?
Right.
Now I'm just back to, and so it's I don't know.
I'm just glad that my dance phase on TikTok is over.
Oh, you had a dance phase.
It was. I'm not proud of myself.
That's all right. You could dance.
Because it's how when all you look for or are engaging with is a certain type of thing, that's really all your feed will show you.
Right.
So I was watching all these dance tutorials. So I just thought that's only what the app was. This was still in like 2019, 2020.
Yeah, early.
And then like during the pandemic, I was just like, I need something to take my mind off of everything. I needed like a creative outlet that wasn't like stand up, because that was like kind of stressing me out, because I was like, will I ever be able to do this again? Whatever.
Yeah.
So I was like, let me just learn all the dances. And it's so cringe. It's so cringe
No, it's
when I
not
go back.
cringe. I mean, dance is
But-
cool. I like some of them I watch, and I'm like, it makes you So like if you like with music, like there'll be a song I don't like, but then I'll listen to it because I don't really listen to lyrics. But if I listen to a lyrics on a song I don't like, sometimes it'll make me all of a sudden like the song.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, oh, that's what the emotion they're
Right.
trying to paint with this song is.
Yeah.
And so sometimes dance does that too. Like I'll watch a TikTok and it'll make me like the music more because I'm
Totally.
like, it's just cool.
Yeah.
It's like I don't know.
Yeah.
So not cringe.
Now I was like, oh, I could just use my personality. Right. I
Right.
forgot that I'm
Yeah,
a comedian
yeah.
and can just talk.
And you have that as material in your back pocket.
Yeah. And I really like doing like dating focused advice. That's a lot of what my comedy, like my stand-up's about. So I sort of use my TikTok as a place to like give more of the information and like articles that I've read or like advice. And yeah, I'm sort of like, don't do what I did in my 20s, girls.
Nice,
That's the theme.
nice. Do you get a lot of girls that like thank you and stuff, and like you have a community you interact with based on that
that's
advice?
my favorite thing is sort of like when I get like DMs or something from like a lot of like that's been an interesting thing on TikTok recently. Is there's been this like it's like all the girls started talking to each other and they were like, we're not cool with like situationships or like all of
Yeah.
this like, you know.
What's a situationship?
Oh my God, bless your heart that you don't know.
Well, yeah, that's good. What is
It is good. Seth's married now, so he doesn't need to
Yeah,
deal
if
with
he
this
knew,
bullshit.
then we'd be like, whoa.
It's honestly worse than like friends with benefits, because friends with benefits immediately like says, you know, we like each other as people, but this is really about sex. Whereas situationship is like you're essentially just in this like purgatory and you're doing more relationshipy things. Like it looks and feels a lot like the first 3 months of a relationship, but then it just never progresses. And then
I
you're just
see.
like, how long do I stay in this?
I see.
Yeah.
And who is that usually like the guy's fault because he's not popping the "you're my girlfriend" question?
I will say it's usually the guy's fault.
That's something I don't know. You're hanging out. Do you
But-
ask a girl? Do you say, want to be my girlfriend? Or do you just one day you're at a coffee shop and you're like, and my girlfriend will have this. And then they're like, oh, and then she's like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, so I think, and this is where I think like women also have to take ownership of, a lot of the times men are honest at the beginning and they say straight off the bat, like, I'm not looking for a relationship. And then women sometimes because men, like, the bar for dating has been so low that they're like, he's texting me every day. He's introducing me to his friends. We're going on real dates. And then they assume that means.
Guys do that too.
Now yeah. And they're like, oh, I guess he's changing his mind. But it's like, no, he just is a nice person that like wants to go on dates.
Well, I mean, guys do that in the sense it's like, oh, I guess when you're friend zoned, that's when guys do it. It's like, oh, she said that we're friends, but I could see somewhere inside there that she probably secretly likes me.
It's sort of like it's like the female equivalent of being friend zoned.
Right. So, okay. So, because a guy a girl that friend zones doesn't want sex. A guy that friend zones does want sex. So that's
Right.
probably the difference there.
And like in a situationship, like the woman usually, not always, wants a relationship and the guy is like, no, but here's sex.
Yeah. No.
Here's sex and also some breakfast the next day.
Yeah, for sure. Damn.
But it's like if women get the disclaimer, like that was a big thing. Like I was like, I stayed in this too long and he did nothing wrong. Like, so that was hard. It was like, I'm like breaking up with someone, but like, it's like, I did it to myself.
Right. Oh, what was it? Oh, you know what it was? I didn't even say this to Hannah, but she'll hear it, I guess, because she's going to listen to this. But yesterday she was talking, like she was just like being a boss, you know? And I was like, she'd be good at breaking up with somebody. That's what I thought I would like.
That's hilarious.
She would be so good at breaking up with somebody. But yeah, that's something I would not be good at. The only time I had a girlfriend was in high school, and I didn't like her for 5 of the 6 months that we dated.
But you just didn't know how to get out of it?
Yeah, I'm just like, well, I remember feeling bad at first. I'm like, oh, the idea of her being sad. I was like, I don't want to make her sad. And then there was like, it's just...
You just wait until you hate them so much that it then...
That's all aspects of my life. I just yes my way into anything and then don't know how to...
I'm an avoider, for sure.
Yeah, and I'm just like, this is just me now. I guess now I am a Mormon because I said yes on the street.
And I feel too bad letting them down.
Yeah, I'm just like, I'm going to do this because I said that I'd be at the... So.
No, I'm definitely guilty of like the overcommitting and then having like a panic attack.
Yeah. It's, know what happened today is, so I did a clip in the office, like a TikTok, and I was like, oh, like I have my weed pen. And I'm like, when I hit it very lightly, it gets me really focused on editing. I feel great. But because I hit it in the office, I had to hold it in.
Oh.
And I got way too high in the office.
That is so funny.
And it's packed in here today. It's so packed in here. And I had to walk around. I'm looking for a private area because I'm like having a borderline panic attack, seeing everybody.
That is hilarious.
In my mind, I'm like, this is the day Gary's like, yo, come in the office. We're filming something. Just like... oh my God. Then I sober up and all my anxieties, like, it's like...
Waiting for you?
Yeah, it's like a bathtub just like draining its water. Like by the end, it's just like, it's all out. But friggin' God, that sucked. And so, but the one thing I got out of it was, I'm going to talk about it on the pod with you.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you. Do you smoke at work? Do you smoke?
I do sometimes. My mom is the one that got me my first vape pen, actually.
Oh, really?
She
Okay.
loves her vape pen at night. I like to, usually on like the weekends or something, or like before bed, but I'm not like a functional high.
Yeah.
Like I'll just get a thought and forget to do something, and I already have ADD, so I'm already doing that anyway.
Yeah, no, that, and just like, it was like it just derailed anything I was, because like now I'm sitting next to people I haven't said hi to yet are like, hey Sean, I'm like, hey,
yeah,
and I'm like, please let's not talk right now, like, because I'm an idiot and smoked in here, like it never ends up being a good idea.
So while we're on drug panic attacks,
you were saying
I had a fun, interesting situation this past weekend. I was at ACL. And so this
what
was
is ACL?
Austin City Limits Festival.
Okay.
And so we were there for Durex, but we only had to like perform and do stuff Friday to Saturday. So Sunday I went to the show, and like I'm in my 30s, and up until like I've really only like drank or done weed. I've never really taken any other type of drugs, except I've microdosed mushrooms. But that's like nothing too crazy.
Yeah.
My friend is like, you want to do LSD? And I was like, sure, why not? It's a great time to try it.
Was this during the work event or no?
No.
Because that would be... Yeah, I went to Vegas for this work event, this Gangfest thing.
Oh, yeah.
I'll tell you about it after you tell me, but like they were doing acid, and I'm like, I don't know how you guys are like planning to network with people and do acid.
It was... So... My friend was like, it's really just like, obviously the visual, it like really enhances everything you're seeing, because it like heightens the areas in your brain that are like perceiving images. And then it was just very like giggly. But I kept getting these like I thought I was like a prophet, and I was like getting these ideas, and I was like, I need to text myself everything I'm thinking. And so the next day I was like, oh my God, I have like all these acid texts to myself.
Did they make sense at all?
Sort of. Like I did remember, here, I'll pull them up.
Yeah, read some. I would love this.
Let's look at the acid texts. Some of them make more sense than others.
That's cool though. Yeah, you really feel it in them. I remember just like there was certain weird feelings of like, I remember walking on the street and I was about to turn a corner and I was like, this is it. I'm walking through the end of it's all right here and now. But it was weird. Go ahead.
I think I started texting myself because I got an idea for like one of the new brands, and I was like, not a good time to put this in the client WhatsApp. Like,
imagine, I'm the type that would. That's what I fear would be. Like, oh my God.
So my first one is, LSD makes you not know the screen to the clouds to your fingernails.
LSD makes you not know the screen to the cloud. Well, let's break
They
that
were all
down.
blending. And then the next one was, were those birds planned?
Were those birds planned? That's amazing. That's amazing.
I was like watching a performance, and all of a sudden there was like all those birds, and I was like, are they part of the show?
I like it not even being a show. I like it. You're just walking on this, just like birds come, and you're like, were those birds like the Truman Show or something?
Oh man. And then there was this girl that was there like with us, and something like happened to my pants, and they were like sometimes like certain fabrics will like stretch out, and it was so hot. So like when I was sweating, my pants were then too big, and I was like, this is gonna fuck up my whole day. And so this girl is like, oh my God, I have like exactly 3 bobby pins, and she like gets down and like literally like tailors my pants in the middle of a festival, and I was in tears laughing. Just the idea that like there were probably 3 people out of thousands that were there that like would have been able to help me in this very specific scenario. And it was sort of,
I would have cried probably.
It was
I
just like, because I get that like over prepared anxiety. Like I'll be like, I don't know how, like my friend who's a dude, just like we're going to the festival and he has nothing on him.
Yeah.
A wallet. And I was like, you don't need sunscreen or maybe Band-Aids or, you know,
right.
like everything.
No, that's how
I was like,
I
I
live
need
my
my
life.
gum.
Well, you know, you didn't have bobby pins though.
A pack of tissues because I know I'll be sweating. Like I go through all these things in my head.
Interesting.
Hand sanitizer.
I don't. I live my life by. I look around. I do one general sweep of the area. That's why I didn't even see this. It was on the ground, and if this is under the wires later, it's like it's for the streets. It's gone.
Then this one I thought was really good at the time. Hear me out. Creative people are the Instagram bitches for memories. Which is, all right, so you know the friend that is always taking pictures, and at the time you think it's annoying, but then you're grateful afterwards because you're like, oh yeah, we've got pictures. I actually do, like when someone says something funny, I'll like write it down or text myself. So I was like, wow, I'm going to remind everyone the next day like why we were laughing on acid. That's was like cool. My mission in life. Good. And then we started laughing over like, we saw people dressed as Power Rangers, and it like triggered this core memory of my sister and I. She's younger, and one of our biggest fights ever was like who gets to be the pink and yellow. And like she's the alpha, she's younger, but she was the alpha, so like I was yellow. And I remember being very triggered by that.
Yeah.
And being like,
amazing.
No one has to be the pink Power Ranger. You have to be the yellow.
Wow. That's the sad version. Can't we all be pink? Why is
man.
I feel like I always worry here. Like, are people tapped into like the greater universe when they're on acid, or is it just? Are they just like the wiring's messed up for a few hours?
At a certain point, I think as it was like peaking more, I was like, I'm interrupting my own trip by doing this, and I was like, just having a lot of like internal dialogue with myself. I was like, no, you have to just like be in the moment. And then I would start getting anxious about something, and it was like, I think you have to have some awareness of like this. I think this is why they say, you know, if you don't have a good grasp on your anxiety, you should not do acid, because I've been in therapy long enough that I'm able to like self-soothe a little bit, where I was like, no, you're on acid, you're fine. Like, you're in a crowd, that's it, you're okay. Like I really had to have, because being in the crowd, I had to like get out of. But up until then, it was fine. It was really just like I wouldn't do it again in that environment.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, it's like this office where you're just trapped amongst people, and there's like no private. Imagine doing acid here, that would be crazy. Yeah,
it's like being 4'11" at a zoo. He's like a EDM, very aggressive like techno. Yeah. We were watching, and I was like, I can't do this.
Damn.
Let me go lay in the grass and listen to Casey Musgraves.
That's amazing. Would you do DMT?
Wait, what's DMT again?
That's the one where
I'm cool,
like,
I promise.
Somebody told me once it's like you smoke it and then you just like blast off into like this universe of like you just see a bunch of shit, and it's like it's not like acid where you can like walk through it. It's like you're gonna be on a couch and just like in your own.
Sounds. I would do that.
You would do it? It's like apparently the most intense of them all, but people really like when they do it. They're like, oh, I spoke to God or whatever.
Yeah.
You would do that. That's cool. It's like skydiving to me, but way scary. Honestly, I'd sooner skydive than do DMT.
See, I'm the opposite. I would rather do DMT than skydive.
Really? I just don't want to fuck up my brain. I want to come out of it like, oh shit, yeah, we are all ones and zeros, and I'm a neuron in a gopher's brain. Like, I just would not want that to be me. So
I'm a neuron in a gopher's brain.
Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of. I don't know. Yeah, I did Skankfest this weekend. That was cool.
How was that? I saw some pictures. It
was cool. I just went to
crazy.
like do content for like 137 and stuff,
Yeah.
but it was pretty neat. It was just like a bunch of different rooms of comedy, and like they're all like a bunch of people like drinking and on drugs. They say they were. So
Yeah.
and then they like, I guess the premise is like you could do like they do crazy shit on stage and stuff. Steve-O was there.
Yeah.
So it was cool. Did a boxing tournament that I won on the second.
Wait, that's awesome.
Yeah, that was cool. Overall, but no acid. Although my friend did acid, no acid for me at my festival. Though comedy would be a weirder thing to watch
Oh, yeah, for sure.
on acid.
Yeah, I can't imagine watching comedy on acid. I think really music is like the only thing that you can really
Right.
consume.
What is your long-term hope? Do you want to have a special one day? Do you want to?
Yeah, so I've this is like the first time I'm really saying it out loud, but I definitely want to do a stand-up special, but the making FYP and then when we were performing it, there's this new, he's a senior creator. His name's John. He made an EDM remix, and that like killed it at the performance. And it sort of, I came to the realization like comedy house music does not exist. Like there's comedy hip hop, you know, you've got Lil Dicky, Aquafina, Lonely Island, but there's really not a lot of that. And like writing it, it's like sort of a genre that I wasn't really that into until like the last few years. And so I've sort of like I want to do a music album this year. And because I feel like, you know, I know that I'm good at stand up, but like, how different am I than a lot of other white women talking about dating? Like, it's not that my stand up isn't unique. It's just that I feel like my way kind of in, or like the way that I can really make more of an impact is doing something that I feel like is not really there yet. So I kind of got like the music bug again. So
Comedy house music.
Comedy house music.
That's cool. I'm looking forward to that. What do
Yeah.
you think it'll look like?
Well, so it's for me, what's really funny about like when like musical hip hop is good is like you're taking the tropes that you're used to hearing, like you know, like the I Just Had Sex song, or like Aquafina, like, you know, My Vag, like you're like how intense she was, like you're not used to hearing like, you know, women speak that way. And I don't know if you know John LaJolie, he was on that show The League. He has this song called Everyday Normal Guy, and like the lyrics were just like, that's what made me actually want to do musical comedy. He was just like, I like red peppers better than the green ones, like dumb, mundane shit. And so it's sort of flipping like the expectation of what you usually hear in the genre. And there's something like house music is always, it's just like you get these like phrases, you know, and it'll be like that same phrase repeated over and over and over again throughout the song. And like kind of that build up. And so I feel like I can do something similar.
That's
like,
cool. Do you produce music?
I don't produce the actual music. I usually work with like a producer, and then I'll sort of have like add the lyrics to it. So
That's
I definitely
cool.
need to work with.
You ever go on BeatStars?
No.
BeatStars is cool. I mean, Old Town Road was a beat from BeatStars.
Whoa.
Yeah, and then I was looking for one on there, and Boyd was like, "Don't use BeatStars. Like, use a real producer." I'm like,
Yeah.
"Old Town Road was on BeatStars." He's like, "Yeah, well, he's talented." I'm like,
I found one from YouTube, like, because there are a lot of, you know, people who make beats. They put it on YouTube, and then you go to their website and you can like buy it for.
I'm sure there's plenty of like hits, like could be hit songs all over YouTube and BeatStars and all that sort of stuff. It's just
untapped bangers.
Yeah, exactly. I was listening, and there's beats I found in there that I just listened to. I download them, and I'm like, I'm gonna be Mac Miller. I'm gonna rap on this in a cool way. And I just can't do it. And then I just listen to the beat from now on. I just listen to the beat because I think it's cool. I could produce a Mac Miller, like take him at a beat and be like, do this. I think so.
But I mean that like, I think that's been my biggest challenge as a comedian is really, it's like just committing to something for long enough to see it through. I really talk myself out of directions all the time.
Same.
And it's like I'm the only one that can really control that. Like
I started this pod today. I was like,
yeah, exactly.
I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, Katie's here. No, I'm excited to have you.
Yeah.
But I have that problem all in like through everything in life where I'm like anything, the script I'm working on, every video I've ever made, I'm just like halfway, 70% through. I'm like, what is this?
I know. I'm like, are we supposed to like our own stuff all the time? Or like,
I don't
is that
know.
me or us? I don't know.
It's like a very, like it doesn't matter. Like just play the game, I guess, of life and don't really overthink that. Like it doesn't really, like people are going to die, so it doesn't matter, I guess. But I don't know. For
me, I've been trying to think more critically about like, what is the work that it never feels like work to me, or that like gets like, for me, sometimes working on stand up, I need to be in a really like good mental space. I have to be like super focused, and like I can force myself to do it, but like writing funny songs, I'll do at 11:30 p.m. when I'm exhausted. I just get an idea and I want to do it now, and it's like that's sort of a hint that my gut is like gravitating towards one thing. Like it's naturally more fun for me to do that. So I'm like, maybe I just need to like follow what is more fun for me right now.
Right. Do you like Bo Burnham?
Yes, I love Bo Burnham.
He's really cool.
And I like that he's like his special really combined the two of them.
Yeah.
Because for a while I've been like, oh, I need to choose, but I think
he's showing that you could do whatever you want. Like it's just like it's just content, you know. It's like the you could just make it what, and it's cool because I feel like with stand up especially, like there's like the purists, and he's kind of like showing I mean, you could do it however you want. It's like stand up in front of an audience, like the laugh track isn't always necessary, I guess. Maybe that's the theory there. Although it was interesting, I did a pod clip where I like said something like it was like a story about the first time I touched a boob, and like some of the comments were, this is funny, but a lot were like just like it was more of a story, but once you have an audience and it's stand up, they're like, oh, this is supposed to be funny, and then they like laugh at. So I don't know, it's weird. Yeah.
But you know, it's in the last like 2 years, people used to be weird about posting their sets, or like now it's pretty normal to post a version of a joke, and then, you know, you're going to continue to work on it even if it's not finished. But like, I feel like comics used to be very weird about posting that, or precious about their material, like being on the internet, like before it's like a special or, and that has changed. Now it's like, if you do a show and you didn't tape it, it doesn't count.
Right. Yeah, I know, that is a weird little dynamic. A lot of it's crowd work and stuff too now, but I do agree. Like you could do it like a 1,000 times the same joke. I've tested both, and then one got all hate, one got the same joke on a different stage, got all love. I'm like, what the hell? Like, it's weird.
Have you done any more like roast shows? I know you did like the heckle one.
No, I'm not a big roaster.
Me either. I
don't like the roasts.
I've decided, or just accepted, that I'm just like way too sensitive. I can't.
Yeah. Oh, that's not, and I feel bad. It's like with the boxing tournament that I won, I stopped a couple people, like they were like, they gave up. And then that, like, I feel bad. I'm watching the video later. I'm like, this guy's girlfriend was here.
Yeah.
Like, this guy was like, and I just feel like, I don't know. But like, my dad was like, well, they would have beat you up if they could have. I'm like, yeah, I guess. But I could deal with it better than they can. Loss. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. For a while, I was like, come on, Katie, you're not a real comic if you don't want to do the roast. And then I was like, no, you know what?
I like writing for other people.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah, as long as I'm not the one like,
to deliver the bad news.
Somebody. Yeah.
No, I've seen some awkward ones too. I thought a lady's mom was there for one. Like, she was just getting but it turned out it wasn't her mom, thank God. But like, it was just, and then they're talking about the mom, and I'm like watching this woman like videoing her smiling, and the smile's going away. I'm like, this poor girl. But it wasn't even the mom, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Do you feel pressure as a comedian on Halloween to have like a really funny costume?
For like 5 minutes, and then I just like, I'll just do whatever.
Yeah.
Do you?
I do, always.
Yeah?
I'm
What's
like,
your
am I going to be
costume?
a basic bitch and go with something just cutesy, you know? Or I'm like, no, I got to be...
You do the Mean Girls thing where she shows up as the bride, the corpse bride. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, no, exactly. I'm always like... I kind of always veer towards something kind of weird.
Like, what was your best so far?
I went as a slutty grandma once. I was pretty proud of that.
That one's great. Did any plans this year?
I might go. So Fran is she's on the account team in the LA office, and she works on the Durex team, and she will always have to drop off a bunch of product, and so her nickname on the team is the Condom Fairy. And I was like, that's gonna be my costume.
That's great.
It's very easy. I can just put on wings and then like walk around with like a little basket of
That's
condoms.
great.
So I think that's gonna be.
You got the perk of how if you go to enough parties, you can have different costumes and
Yeah, I actually tried to be Corn because
Oh, yeah.
Corn really had a. This is a Corn era.
It's its heyday.
You
Yeah.
cannot get a Corn costume
Really?
delivered in time.
Well, then you're better off.
Yeah.
Because then it's like you're
Everyone.
the trending sound of
Yeah.
TikTok. All right, they're giving me the wrap up thing. Katie, where can we find you?
On TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Howler at you, HALLERATYOU.
Hell yeah. Well, we're
And,
looking forward to the house.
Check out For Your Penis.
Yes, that. Check it out, Durex. Go follow them and stay tuned for the house comedy.
Yes.
The comedy house song.
Yes.
Yes. I'm looking forward to it.
Rave comedy.
Rave comedy. Beautiful.